Hey everybody, this is going to be a quick review of the 2025 refreshed Tesla Model Y. It's just going to be my first drive review, quick overview of the car. Going to walk around it, do some driving, tell you how it feels, tell you what I think about it, and what it means for the EV industry. I hope you all enjoy. Okay, here we go. The refreshed 2025 Tesla Model Y. I'm out here on a 30-minute test drive just to give some quick thoughts and impressions. So far, it is very much like the refreshed Model 3. A lot of the same design language has been carried over. New steering wheel feels really nice. It's got some haptic buttons for your wiper controls, camera, FSD, headlights. Thankfully, a great change for the mass market, which I care about on this channel a lot, is that they removed the turn signal buttons and reinstated just a normal turn signal stock. Feels totally good, normal, like you would want and expect. Just initial impressions here. Very comfortable, very refined ride, as a lot of other people have said. That is true. I've driven and spent a lot of time in both a 2020 Model Y and a 2022 Model Y, and this is a big step up over both in terms of ride quality. Right now I'm just driving on city streets, so I haven't really had a chance to test the noise dampening that many people have discussed, but hopefully that'll be as good too. Very much still feels like, in terms of like your seating position and the visibility, just like the old Model Y, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's actually got pretty great visibility. The only bad visibility in the whole car is the rear window, which is still a sliver, maintains it a sliver. They've added a forward-facing camera now, which is great for tight parking situations. I'm happy they did that. These seats are now ventilated, just like the refreshed Model 3s, and they still feel very comfortable. Tesla just has class-leading seats and comfortable seats, in my opinion. So far so good. Yeah, it's got the new inlaid interior lighting, this like metal speaker grill, suede material here, cloth material I assume, actually. Feels really good. The throttle mapping, the pedal mapping is just fantastic. What you'd expect from Tesla. The steering wheel, like I mentioned, is common with the refreshed Model 3, but it just feels very good, very tight. A little chunkier than the previous generation, and I like that. Some other people may not. Auto blind spot cameras is featured in all Teslas and should be featured in pretty much every vehicle. Feels really good. I won't really have time to evaluate efficiency numbers on this drive just because it's a 30-minute quick test drive, but just seeing it and feeling it, I'm sure the efficiency has improved from the outgoing generation. And unfortunately, that does bring up my probably my biggest complaint about this car, and that is this car should have been Tesla's coupe de grace. This should have pretty much annihilated every other EV manufacturer in America and actually truly started to eat into margins for gas vehicles like the RAV4 and like Honda's equivalent. The issue is at the end of the day, it has more or less the exact same range as the 2020 Model Y. It has the exact same charge curve. Now, it's a tiny bit more efficient, which absolutely helps. It absolutely helps in the new Model 3, and I'm not going to discount that. Efficiency is huge. But I would have expected now, with the price of batteries where they are, that Tesla could have just squeezed another 10 kilowatts into this battery pack, couple that with the great efficiency, and you'd have a pretty reliable 350 to even 400 mile EV right here. And with that larger battery pack, if they refine their chemistry a bit, they could have a much beefier charge curve. You pair that with Tesla superchargers, and you have a practical vehicle that anyone can use. And by anyone, I mean people who are hardworking, normal people who just don't really, they're not car people, they're not EV people. They just want a reliable, comfortable car to get them to and from work and to do chores. And the Model Y is that for a lot of people now, but it's just not quite there. And it's only because Tesla just hasn't really put any money into improving their battery technology and improving their range, which does make me pretty sad. Now, where have they put the money? They put it mostly into AI and full self-driving, which looks like I just activated here. Single button tap on the steering wheel. And I've used version 13 self-driving before, not in the new gen Model Y, but in other Teslas. It's very good. It's not a joke. It's not Elon being 2 more weeks away or whatever. It's legit. I'm going to let it drive the rest of the way to the little parking lot I'm going to film the outside of this car. But it's there. Like, they will have robo-taxis. They will compete with Waymo. It's there. FSD 13, end-to-end AI. It's great. It's fantastic. My issue with it and the amount of capex that they've had to spend over the last 8 years to develop this is, what's the future of it for Tesla as a business? Because we've seen in China, like several Chinese OEMs now have developed nearly as capable systems and systems that will likely become as capable, and they're offering it for almost nothing. Like BYD just came out with their FSD competitor that they're calling God's Eye. That's the translation in English. And they're offering it as just an included option on all of their vehicles, including their mass market entry-level vehicles. So Tesla's argument is that like FSD is worth a lot of money. Like right now it's a $200 a month subscription, $8,000 one-time option. Like that's a lot of money. That's a lot of margin for a business. But if, let's say Rivian, which is now talking about they're doing their own end-to-end AI system, and they have the backing of not only Amazon and their huge amount of cloud compute, they are all in on NVIDIA's system on chip that's actually in their vehicles and their entire self-driving training ecosystem, which those Chinese OEMs have also used. So what happens if a Rivian develops an end-to-end AI system in 2 years that's close to FSD? Like what happens to the pricing then? And this doesn't just affect Tesla, it affects Rivian too. Like they're hoping that they can achieve something similar to FSD without the same capex hit because of their Amazon partnership. And they want to be able to profit from that. But what happens when there's a lot of competition in that space? And that does worry me for the future of both businesses. And it's the reason I'm talking about this right now, is that I think Tesla bet this is the future. And I think it's part of the future, for sure. But you look at what Chinese battery technology is doing right now, you can't just rest on your laurels, like with the supercharging. Like, Tesla's vehicles have not had a meaningful change to charge curve since 2019. Like, that's not gonna cut it. Like, a lot of people talk about the Cybertruck being 800 volt, and that's true. But from every test I've seen, all that really did is you see a snapshot of a really high peak charge, and then it nosedives. There's no fat charge curve. And by fat charge curve, I mean the ability to sustain a high rate of charge for more or less deep into that charge, aka you can sustain 200 kilowatts of power from like 0% up to like 80% state of charge. Hey, welcome back. Just gonna do a quick walk around of this 2025 refreshed Tesla Model Y. As I was saying before, same more or less stuff that you get in the new Model 3. Slightly different center console, but feels good. Looks clean, snaps into place, like that a lot. Looks good. You get some USB-Cs in here and in here, cup holders, good to go. Glove box is still a button, like in many Teslas. No worries. Let's take a walk around. Interior cargo space, that's the partial shelf, plenty of room. Subfloor, down in there, down in here. Get these new folding seats, which no longer just fold down with the push of these buttons, but they also fold back up, which a lot of people have said is a gimmick, and as a former Model Y owner, I appreciate that feature. It's a good feature. Coming to the back seat here, plenty of space, great leg room. I'm 5'10", that's my seating position. Plenty of space back here, really comfortable seats. Same glass roof. My fiance doesn't like the glass roof with no... Quick look in the front, a little bigger this time than the outgoing model. They shaped it a little different. Quick look in the inside details, those speaker grills, the ventilated seats. And these are the only two build quality blemishes I saw. That panel was misaligned. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.